up, never down, never. Like a theme in a song, clever. Feeling high, feeling low at the same time. Feels so right, then I'm wrong, hoping I'll be fine. But I get up, I always do.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing okay. So if you've watched my previous vlog, you'll know that this vlog is going to be all about getting my Hickman line removed / replaced. So let's just go straight into it. I'm going to record as much as possible so that I can inform everybody kind of as much information as possible. Obviously this is my experience, so you know everything I tell you in this video isn't going to be exactly 100% correct for everybody else, but this is just my sort of journey that I'm going to go through. So start from the beginning. I have numerous chronic illnesses, one of them being gastroparesis and one of them being intestinal failure. I've been diagnosed with gastroparesis since I can't remember how many years now, to be honest with you, but I was fed through a tube in my bowel, which if you guys have followed me for a while, you'll know this. I don't think I can show you from where the camera is. Can you see that? So I have two feeding tubes here. That one goes to my bowel, that one goes to my stomach. So I've got a draining tube for all the bile and excess fluids and things like that get in my stomach. I've got a tube that goes into my bowel that I used to have all of my feeds and nutrition through because my stomach is paralysed. So no matter what I eat and drink, it physically can't go through my body and it just ends up coming back up. So I had to be fed through my bowel for a long time. Then fast forward to 2022, I stopped absorbing loads of nutrition. I think I lost just under 4 stone in total. I was not in a good way. I'm not going to go all into that detail, but if you want to go back and watch my vlogs, I think I did a hospital update 4-part series of everything that happened in 2022, and let me tell you, it was the worst time of my life. It was horrendous. But the end of that hospital stay, it turned out I had intestinal failure, so I can't absorb sort of and take nutrition via my stomach, and I can no longer absorb nutrition via my tube, which is my JED. It goes to my bowel. So my third option is to feed directly into my heart. So in order to feed to your heart, I have a central line, which is here. I'll show you a better picture of it tomorrow. But I have a central line that basically goes in my chest here. It goes up my neck. So I don't know if you'll be able to see kind of where it goes into my neck there. And then it goes into one of my main veins, it goes to my heart, and then it just sits right at the top of my heart. So I'll insert a picture if I can find one online to show you kind of the image of it, or what it'll look like from the inside. And with this, I get all of my nutrition called TPN, which is Total Parenteral Nutrition. If you ever see me with a backpack, this is why. James calls me Dora the Explorer because I've always got it on. But basically, all of my feed nutrition that I need to basically be here and be alive is all in this rucksack. It is put through a pump. It is all sterile, aseptic, all of that vibe, because it is a central line. So I've had my central line since, I can't remember the exact date. I started TPN for the first time on the 1st of November 2022, and I remember that because I remember saying to myself that morning, it's a new day, it's a new start, it's the 1st of the month, you know, let's make things better. But I started with a PICC line in my arm, so I can't exactly remember when I got my Hickman line placed, but I did do a video on the first time I got it in, so maybe that date's on there. So I've been having some issues with it recently where, if you watch my last vlog you'll know, but I basically have been retching a lot when, you know, things have been going down my red line. I've been sort of blacking out a lot when like blood's been taken, things like that. So went for a scan last week and they told me that they want to remove my line. They're not 100% sure on the reason being, but they said it's starting to cause problems, so we need it out now. They said Hickman lines aren't made to last a lifetime, so it's better to get it out now before it just causes more issues, and we want to try and save your vein access. So we want to try and basically remove it and replace it, whereas if we leave it in too long we can damage your access line on the inside, and we don't want to do that. So they're going to do that tomorrow and exchange it. So they're basically going to take this line out and replace it with a new one. It won't go in the exact same kind of hole there. She said it'll be a centimetre either side, but it'll hopefully go in the same vein on the inside. But obviously until they go ahead and do it, I'm not going to know. I've had this procedure before. Obviously, when I first got it put in, I didn't think I'd be having it back and doing it again so soon, because I'll be honest, my last procedure was not great. However, I was in a my body was in such a bad way. I was so malnourished. My body wasn't fit for fighting. I was on my last legs. Like, I really weren't doing well. So I'm hoping that I'm so in a much better position nutritionally and much better position, like health-wise. Maybe not mentally, but physically I am better. So let's hope that it all goes okay tomorrow, but I'm gonna take you on the whole journey. But what I started this vlog now, because if anybody is kind of watching this, is due to go for a procedure or kind of goes through things like I do, and you're going for scans or something that maybe you might be kind of not fit to do things properly the next day, wash your hair the night before. That's why I started filming. So I've just kind of thought that I'm not going to be able to do anything tomorrow, because I remember last time I had the procedure, I couldn't move my neck. Like, honestly, I really couldn't move my neck. So I thought, I'm going to be on the sofa for the next like 2 days. So let's wash this hair now while we can. And for those of you that have also watched me before, you will know that I don't wash my hair inside the shower, because your Hickman line can't really get wet. Like I've said, this is my experience only. Most people may get in the shower and get your Hickman line wet, and that's totally okay. But from what I've been told from my specific nurses, it's to not get it wet. I do have waterproof dressings, but I don't find them work for me, and I've got quite severe anxiety and health anxiety and worries. So in order for me to deal with this, I wash my hair separately so my line physically won't get wet. So I'm staying at my mum's at the minute because my bathroom is currently getting done up. So this is my gorgeous little shower that my mum like designed and made. Honestly, it's just the most beautiful thing in the whole wide world. Let me show you. So obviously you guys know that mum and dad was building a house back in 2022, and I was due to sort of live with them before I actually bought a house and moved out. But mum sort of basically designed this ensuite. I'll show you the bedroom another day, but there's a shower seat in there for me because I have to use a shower seat when I am in the shower, because I've got POTS and I'd get tired very easy. Also washing my line, washing my body around the line, things like that. So she's just the golden mother, honestly. She's absolutely amazing. But she designed this bathroom specifically for me, and this seat, let me tell you something, it's heated. Like, what? It's literally like I'm in a spa. And it makes me want to move back here, like permanently, like forever. I'm never moving back out, to be honest with you. It is it's actually unbelievable. It's like I'm at a 17-star hotel. But obviously I'm not going to turn that on right now, so I'm not actually getting in the shower. I'm just going to wash my hair. But I just wanted to show you that because she's just unbelievable. Like, she's just the best person ever. So yeah, I'm very lucky to have this here. Obviously at my house we don't have that, but I'm very, very lucky that she's done that for me. So I've been very much enjoying myself since I've been living here. Like I said, I might not move out.
Come pick me up, drag me from the shadows, babe. Give me your love, you'll be my escape. Come turn me on, key inside the engine, babe. Lead the way, it's okay.
Okay, that is all done. I definitely should have taken my makeup off before that. I've actually been at work today, so that's why I've had makeup on, because usually if I'm working from home I don't put any on, but it's everywhere. So I'm just gonna, I always tend to be honest with you, leave my hair to air dry. Like, if you've been watching for a while you'll probably know, but I very, very, very rarely use a hairdryer just because I find it so tiring, and you know, it's just something that I tend to just leave my hair to air dry by themselves. So what I'm going to do now is go downstairs and watch some TV with my brother. I am trying to take my mind off everything, to be honest with you. Trying not to get overly stressed. Just trying to process that it's happening tomorrow and just kind of deal with my feelings and emotions in the morning. But since my hospital stay in 2022, I have developed not a very good mental relationship with hospitals and procedures and things. So anyway, right, let's go. My backpack, and let's go have last evening with this Hickman line. Good morning, everybody. So it is day of Hickman.
You're doing okay.
Rob's here. So he luckily isn't working today, so he is going to take me because I definitely won't be able to drive after it. Mum is home from Spain, but I might need to cut this whole bit out. I need to ask her if I can talk about this or not, because she knows that we're honest on this channel. But she is basically getting some polyps removed from her bowel tomorrow, so she's got to take that bowel prep today, so she can't come to the hospital. But she said worst case scenario, she would have figured something out if Rob couldn't take me. But like I said, James is away, so luckily I have Rob. He's taking me, and he's like got his Seattle merch on.
Yeah. My Alaska hat.
And his Alaska hat. But yeah, we're basically on our way to hospital now. We was going to set off at 9:15, and we set off at 9:30 just because both of us were tired and we weren't ready. And to be fair, the traffic's not as bad after 9. It's not as bad. It's usually before 9. Like when we set off the other day, it was really bad traffic, wasn't it? Yeah. But yeah, so we're on our way now. I don't really know what to expect, because obviously I'm having this done as an outpatient, whereas last time I was an inpatient. So last time I remember I was kind of just on the ward, and they told me, you know, they just basically called me up and then I went downstairs and had it done. But I can't even remember, like, if I had to put a gown on, or I don't know, that kind of time in my life is a bit blurred, to be honest. But we'll see what happens. I've just got a feeling that it's pretty much going to be just going into intervention radiology, and they say put a gown on and then take me into another room and then do it. But yeah, I feel okay, but at the same time I know, like, as soon as we get to hospital, that's when it's going to hit me that it's happening. But I'll keep you updated. I disconnected my TPN this morning, so I said last night, I think, that I was on my TPN. I had to finish in time for this morning, because obviously I can't be connected to my TPN when they take my line out. But I'm not going to be able to go on my TPN tonight, which it's an issue, but it's not too big of an issue. Basically, I mean, I might be able to, but as far as I remember from last time, I literally really couldn't move my neck. It was like really painful, and I definitely, you know, moving your arms involves moving your neck, so I don't think I'm going to be physically capable of doing my TPN. Rob, Mum aren't trained yet, like fully, to do it, so I'm just going to have to miss a night of TPN, which my doctors, obviously, it's not good for me to miss a night of TPN, absolutely not. They're going like, what are they doing?
Maybe that's where the accident is.
An ambulance just kind of stopped in the middle of the road. But it was to say that my TPN. So yeah, it's obviously not good that I'm going to potentially miss a night, but at the same time, if I'm not physically capable of doing it, then I don't really have a choice. The nurses in the hospital haven't kind of said about arranging my district nurses to come out, because I can organise them to come out to do my TPN, but my consultant basically said if I missed one night of TPN, it isn't like the worst scenario in the world, because I'll have enough reserves in my body to get me through, you know, 24 hours. The issue would be the potassium, but worst case scenario, if I'm feeling really unwell later on or anything like that, then or tomorrow morning, I can always go to see my nutrition team and get them to put me up on a TPN bag. But I'm hoping by tomorrow I'll be okay to put it on, so even during the day tomorrow I might be able to put it on. So I'll update you when we get there. It's gonna be fun. There's an ambulance. Maybe they're just meeting.
One step forward and another back. I would never try to fool ya. I'm one heartbeat away from going mad. Girl, when you're looking like that.
Okay, so maybe we should have set off a few minutes earlier than we said, because the car parking at Royal Preston is absolutely horrendous. Like, it is really, really, really bad. So yeah, like, it's just terrible. So with the main car park, if like one car kind of starts trying to reverse into a spot and gets stuck, then you're done in for like 20 minutes, because it's just like quite tight as well. So anyway, we've just kind of come out of the hospital. We're going to go back in and go over to the other car park. We didn't make it on the hospital car park, it's too full, so we are off-roading it. We've got about 1 minute to get there, but we'll be okay.
I'm an expert at overthinking things that I shouldn't.
Hey, we've just been moved into a separate suite basically now, so we're about to get it done. Okay, so they've moved us basically to like waiting room for intervention radiology. I've just been through all the sort of questionnaires with the nurse, and I've actually met her before. She was one of the nurses that did my teaching in February at Chorley. So we put my wristband on, said it's literally this morning that I don't obviously need to stay in, which I knew anyway, but I'd just like to hear that again. So we're just waiting here, but I don't know what time exactly I'm going in, but it's currently 20 past 10. Okay, I have my gown on. Just sat down with a lady to kind of go through all the pros and cons, what's going to happen, all the risks, things like that, and then this is where I get bad, because obviously I know they've got to tell you the risks, but it just freaks me out. Like, I wish I didn't know. But yeah, I've just got my gown on. They were allowing me to keep my bottom half on. I'll probably take my shoes off, not gonna lie, it's not gonna be very comfy, but just need to have access to my line, so I'm gonna catch up with you after. I feel like I just can't really like go into it too much right now. I just need like a minute. I've done it. It's all done. It's a different line. It's a single lumen. They've obviously done all of my neck and stuff, but I'm just gonna get changed and just want to get home. I had a really bad panic attack halfway through it, and it was the scariest thing ever. My heart rate just kept going up and up and up and up, and they were trying to calm me down, and it was horrible. But apart from that, I can't feel anything just yet, but I think that as everything wears off, I will do. I don't think I bled too bad either, which is a good thing, but it looks completely different than before. And it's purple, not white. So I'm just gonna go get changed, and we will debrief very soon. But I'm just glad it's done. I'm proud of myself. I'm annoyed that I had a panic attack, but it couldn't be helped. But I'll explain properly why they think I started with one. But let's have a look if you can see anything without flashing you. Ready? Okay, we look like this. So I've got a bit of that. Is it called iodine? I'm not sure. But it looks completely different than before. And it's just that. So that'd be better. Tiny little thing. So Rob's just gone to move the car because we only had 2 hours where we parked this morning, and it's starting to wear off this, I think. He's gone to move the car, so we only had 2 hours. So it's like, what, it's 5 to 12 now, so it's been like nearly a couple of hours. He's gone to move it, and then that way when I'm leaving the hospital, he can just come to the front door. I look rough. I'm just waiting for my discharge papers, so I'm just dreading all of this wearing off. But yeah, I'll show you everything properly later. I'm so proud of myself that it's done. Obviously I had a really bad panic attack when I was in there, which was not the best. But when I get home we'll have a real debrief. But I just want to get home, want to have a brew. Apparently this line can be used straight away, which is good. So I just started going really hot, and I think I'm still heightened anxiety, like just really warm, and I've calmed down a bit now, but I've just realised how bad my blood pressure might be, because I don't know if you can see that. I was just touching my head and I noticed it don't look great, but that's probably just because of what my body's just been through, but it's fine. My blood pressure is low, guys. I think it's 91. So I can't go home yet. Hey, let me go home. I'm just currently walking to the front of the hospital to see my brother, and the local is wearing off on my neck, so I can already feel it stiffening up. So I just want to get home, get a brew, watch Somewhere Turn Pretty. That'll be good. Okay, I have been home for not too long. Rob, bless him, got my dressing gown from upstairs and made me a brew, so I'm literally just laid on the sofa. I can feel that the anaesthetic's starting to wear off a little bit, the local anaesthetic, just because it's kind of like tingling and like I feel like a bit of sensation's coming back. However, I am exhausted, like absolutely exhausted, so I'm going to take a nap and then I'm going to update you. Pain right now isn't too bad, but like I said, when I was coming out of hospital, I can kind of feel it on my neck a little bit. So I'm going to have a nap and then I'm gonna properly debrief you. I'm just praying that I don't wake up in really loads of pain, but I've got dressing gown, I've had a brew, Bluey is there, and I have Alfie here looking after me. Alright, been trying to figure out where to put you in the bedroom. I have just come upstairs to bed, so when I got back from the hospital, all I have literally done is laid on the settee and just moved when I needed to. So I'm finally coming up to bed, and I just thought, let's give you a rundown of what we look like and the pain levels, etc. So this is what we look like. It is pretty much, like I said, honestly, I genuinely can't even remember what I've shown you today. Like it feels like a long day. Basically, they did a line exchange, so I might need to explain the full details tomorrow about what they actually do, because I feel like I need to really lie down. Yeah, I'm gonna do that, but let me just kind of show you what we're looking like right now. But basically, they made the incision into my neck here. This is my new line, guys, so it's completely different to my old one. It is a single lumen, so it doesn't have the two ends in it like last time, and because it's a single lumen, it's so much shorter. If you guys remember my old line, I kind of had to like loop it round, and it was really quite heavy, and sometimes I had to put it on top of my top because it felt like it was pulling down, whereas this one is so tiny, like it kind of feels like I don't have a line there, which is bizarre. Pain wise started getting really quite bad towards the afternoon, I'll be honest with you. The pain, I don't even know where it mainly is. I'm pretty sure it's here, which is my neck. I feel like I keep getting random twinges, which is here, because they've had to make an incision there for my new line, and my old one that was just next to it, they put a stitch in. But the pain's here, and when I breathe in, I can feel a lot of pressure there. I will, however, say, from what I remember, my pain levels from when I had my first Hickman surgery, this is better. I feel like if I watched my old video back, it probably wouldn't feel like this. But yeah, I just feel like the pain is all situated in this area here. This is what the line looks like. They've obviously put a dressing on. It's a really clear dressing, but there is actually one on there. There's also a bio patch, so that releases really slow release of antibiotics as far as I'm aware, just to obviously prevent any infection. This is a line here, and then they've put a stat lock there to keep that in place. So I've also been told that I have to be very careful, because the way that they stitch the line in on the insides, they put something called a cuff in there. Don't particularly understand what that means, but all I know that it takes a good few days for it to be set in place, and I just basically have to be very careful, because the line could pretty much just, if I, for example, like changed my dressing, and you know, the line could pretty much just fall out by itself, and I do not want to go through this again, guys, for a while. So yeah, this is what we're looking like. Sorry, this is like the best angle I can physically show you, and I'll update you properly tomorrow what they did in the surgery, because I feel like I need to be with a fresh head to remember and explain what they said to me. So I'm gonna love you and leave you for tonight, and I'll speak to you first thing in the morning. I've got a feeling I'm gonna have to sleep sat up, because I can move my neck like I can, but I definitely won't be able to sleep on my sides, I don't think. So I think I'm gonna have to sleep kind of sat up. So James isn't in, so I can steal all of the pillows. I'm just gonna go put my pyjamas on and wash my face and then get in bed. I also need to find some scissors to cut this band off, but speak to you in the morning.
Let you down, and I know that I was not always around. I made you feel alone.
Slept terribly, like absolutely terribly. I felt like I couldn't like move my neck, so I was like kind of sat up, like led down, but like with my head sat up. It was really not comfortable, and I woke up super early and just had like a really broken sleep. Pain is not great, but it's not horrendous, you know. I'm gonna have some paracetamol, but just paracetamol. I'm not having anything stronger than that. It's definitely less painful than last time, but I'm just feeling very tender, and I keep getting these like electric shocks. I don't know if I've showed you this properly. Let me just give you a quick update, and I'm gonna sit down with you soon and just tell you exactly what happened yesterday, because I need to be in a more comfortable position when I show you. But basically, this is what we're looking like today. I need to get rid of all of that iodine off me, but it's, you know, it's looking okay. It's definitely so much smaller than before. I feel like I can't even feel it, but my chest feels swollen, it feels bruised. But apart from that, obviously pain wise, I can cope with it, you know. It's not horrendous, like I said, it's just not ideal. But I'm just gonna wash my face and go make a brew. I've just drained my tube and flushed my other one. That's why I'm in the bathroom, just thought it was easy to do. I'm next to the sink, so I'll catch up with you shortly and really give you the rundown on what happened yesterday. I just kind of wanted to say good morning, and I'm here. Hey guys, I'm going to be lying to you if I told you that it was the same day that I recorded, or if it was the day after, because it's actually the day after that. It is Sunday today. Past few days I've been really tired, you know, like that, it really took it out of me, like how tired I've been. But I just managed to wash my hair today, feeling much better. Movement of my neck is much better. It still hurts a little bit here, but I just wanted to give you kind of an update on how I'm feeling, but I'm definitely feeling much better. The experience this time to compare to last time has been much easier to recover. Felt like I was in a lot more pain last time, like for prolonged afterwards, but I've just been more tired, to be honest with you, and obviously in pain. But today I am so itchy, like honestly I want to literally dig my nails into it because I'm that itchy. But I just kind of wanted to run you through obviously what happened when I got to the hospital. So we obviously went into that little room where they kind of talked me through the risks, what's going to happen, etc. And what basically happened during the procedure. So I went in, I kept my bottom half on. They allowed me to keep like my socks, pants on, etc. I just needed to get changed in the top half. So they pull your gown down a little bit and attach heart monitor and blood pressure cuff onto your arm, so they can monitor that the whole time. And then they bring the screen forward, which is the x-ray machine, because obviously they need to see where it's going into your heart. Once they've done that, they then put a sheet, like a blue sheet, over your head, so you kind of can't see. Your leg down, and I lean that way, and they put this big blue sheet, kind of how if you've seen any C-section videos, it kind of reminds me of that. It's usually you can't see, and obviously I don't want to see that. So they do that, and then they put the local anaesthetic in. So that was really stingy. If you've ever had local anaesthetic before, they put kind of like a few injections in. Then after a few minutes, the lady said to me, does anything feel sharp here? And I said, no, I can't feel it. So that's when obviously she was touching me with that, and she just cracked on. So she basically explained that they made an incision into my neck. So this is actually just starting to come off, so I'm going to show it you. So, oh my god, I'm very bruised. So if you can see just above that line, that was the first incision I had in 2022. And then the second one where you can see the stitch is the second one, which I had the other day. So they cut that. So if you imagine my white line that was there before, they cut me on my neck and then they pulled the white line out. So if you can kind of imagine, it would be, I wish I could kind of show you an example of what it would be like. I'm trying to look for objects or what I could show you, but I can't. In fact, no, let me get my phone charger. One sec. Right, this is the smallest wire I could find. I think it's the blinds. So it's white, so it's kind of a good example. So if you can imagine my line, what it used to look like, is kind of sitting like, where's my heart? Oh, on the opposite side, I can't see it properly. It's like there. So you imagine my line was like that. So what they do is they cut me at the neck and then they kind of pull the line out. This is how she described it. I might be completely wrong, but this is how she described it. So it's like that. Then they cut it, so then that half falls off, and then you're just kind of left with that there. So ignore this bit there, but you're kind of left with it sticking out. Then they put a wire through that line, so the wire is going in the same access vein, it's through the exact same line, stays at the top of your heart. Then they pull that out, so that's gone. So my tube's out, pulled it out from everywhere, but the wire's still sticking in me. Then once they've done that, they thread the new tube over the wire, so it's in the same place. They do the x-rays, they do all of that, and then once they know it's in the right place, they then tunnel it down my chest. So that's why I'm obviously quite bruised there, because they have to mess with everything. So then once they've done that, they know it's in the correct place, they give it a flush, they withdraw blood, they make sure it's working okay, and then they stitch you up. So the stitches that I've got is I've got 2 here on my neck, so they need to be removed. So I'm going to have to go back on Thursday or Wednesday, I think, to get them removed. Then I've got one where my old kind of hole was, if you can imagine, one there, and then I think there's also one in the new place. So that in total, there's 4 stitches, but only 2 of them I need to remove because these ones here are dissolvable. They've put a dressing on and they've put this, I think it's called a stat block. So for the first few weeks, apparently, the cuff that's on the inside that's holding it in needs a few weeks to web. So they have to keep it sort of attached to you, so because if it doesn't, it might just fall out. So I've got to be really careful not to knock it. I've obviously got to be very careful just around this area, but I'm definitely feeling much better. The whole procedure was okay. Like, I feel like it was less painful than the first one I had, because the first one, honestly, I think it's because of my weight. Like, I was like 3 and a bit stone lighter than I am now, but it was just tough, really tough, and I could feel them tunneling it in my chest, and maybe it's also because I didn't know what to expect, whereas this time I kind of didn't go in completely blind. But the worst thing about it was, I think, was my mental health halfway through it, and she explained the bit of where they were exchanging the line, which I'm not sure exactly what that bit is, but she said they have to kind of go beneath your heart. Don't know how they do that. But when that started happening, my heart rate started going really quite fast, and it went up to about 135 or something like that. And then I think because my heart started going really fast and I started to feel a bit weird, like I started to feel a bit, like woozy, I started panicking, and I was trying so hard not to panic, but I just remember saying to them, I wasn't sedated, by the way, nothing, I literally just had local. I remember saying to them, I'm really sorry, but I think I'm having a panic attack. And they was like, okay, no problem, we're going to stop. So they just stopped and was like, don't worry about it. And they was like, yeah, we can see your heart rate increasing. Yeah, we can see it increasing. So I think it then started climbing. And my heart rate was going quicker and quicker. And the more I was trying to calm down and not panic, I was panicking more. I just remember saying, please do take the sheets off me, because it started getting really hot. I had like a blanket on me. And I was really shaking. I could feel my feet shaking, and I just felt so funny. But I remember I kept telling myself, this is a panic attack, everything's fine. But I think it was triggered by the fact that I felt funny and I felt my heart rate going, so I was trying not to panic, and then I did start panicking, because straight away my head thinks that like I'm unwell, something's happening, I'm gonna die, basically. That's what my head goes to. So yeah, basically I started doing that. It was all so nice. It was like, don't worry about it, we're going to stop, take your time, we're not going to do anything, we're about 75% of the way through now. And then they took the sheet off my head just because I was so boxed in. They said, just going to let you breathe some air. So I didn't move my neck, I stayed in the exact same position, but they took that big sheet off, so I did feel like I could breathe, and I was trying so hard. I was just doing my breathing exercises that I've done with my therapist. And I did manage to come out of it, which I'm quite proud of myself for, because usually when you panic, you sometimes panic more. But yeah, that was probably the worst bit for me, because I really panicked. I haven't had a panic attack that bad in a long time, and it wasn't exactly the ideal situation to have a panic attack. But yeah, I think it was also making me panic, because you know when they kind of have to go through the risks and things like that before a procedure. One of the things that she explained is when they cut the line or something, there'll be a tube in my neck. She'll tell me when, but I can't take in a big gasp of air, because I could have an air embolism in my heart. And even though at that point when I was having a panic attack, that wasn't the part where she said don't take any too deeper breaths or anything. But I think I had that in my head, so I was panicking and trying not to overly breathe too much, because I just had it in my head that I'm going to take in air into my heart, and it just went from 0 to 100 really quickly. But I came out of it was all really gentle. I just kept telling myself, 75% of the way done, like calm down, and we can be out, it's done. So yeah, basically as soon as that all happened, they pulled me up so I could sit myself up, because like the pressure on my neck, it was a bit sore. And then I walked myself out, went to go see Rob, stayed in there for a bit. My blood pressure was really bad, which I'm not sure if I've recorded this or not, but my blood pressure went down to like 85. So I was in the hospital waiting room again. My blood pressure was really low, and they was like, can you drink something, can you do this, like we can't let you go, your blood pressure that low. So I had a little sip of water, but I knew that obviously that's not going to stay down, but it can stay down for however long it decides to stay down for. So had some water, came out of it a little bit, so I started to feel a bit better, and then I went home. Long story short, that's everything that happened. So like I said, I'm feeling so much better. I'll give you another update tomorrow. I'm going to actually change this dressing shortly. I don't want to I want to change it straight away, which is why I've kind of left it on, because I don't want to leave it with nothing on, but I need to go find a dressing that I can put on top of it. But the only reason being is I don't want to catch these stitches. So yeah, I'm gonna leave that. I'm sure it's fine to breathe, but it's more the stitches I don't want to catch on my top or anything. But yeah, I feel much better. Me and James are going home today. I'm gonna go home shortly, which is why I just thought I'm gonna catch you up because I've been kind of like not alright. So we're just sorting our bags out now. Our bathroom's done. I'm really excited to see it. I've seen a picture of it, and maybe even have a bath tonight. Who knows? Like, I can do that now.